There are way too many places to call home in the long dark, but which ones are the best and which ones are duds? Well, today with the help of my chat, we rank over 50 home-based locations on Great Bear Island. To determine this, we discussed a variety of criteria as well as sprinkled in our own personal bias. But if you think I'm wrong, well, no worries, because over 100 of you have also submitted your own rankings. So as I rank each one, you can check out what others have thought in the bottom right corner. With all that said, please enjoy this tier list ranking of base locations in the long dark. This little thing here is made by Daniel Watkins, so thank you, Daniel Watkins, for making this for us, which is very cool. Anyway, let's get into it because it has been 13 minutes since we started the stream and we have not ranked one single thing, okay? Let's start off with the barn in Pleasant Valley. Let's get into our list. B, because of bear lurking around. That is true. There is a hostile predator there. Not too many wolves. There are wolves in the region. However, they don't seem to go around the barn too often. They're in the field adjacent to it. Small game. There's rabbits outside, right? On the hill, we're going to say there is. Big game. There's deer outside. They can spawn outside. They can spawn in the field and everything. Fishable region, yes, but like I said earlier, Pleasant Valley isn't like known to be a fishable region. Like there is Pensive Pond. Big loot potential, yeah, I'm gonna say there is because you can get a stim there. I don't know if anybody else has gotten a stim there, but I've gotten it there quite a bit of time. Plus, on lower difficulties, you can get the bow there. I don't know if the bow is guaranteed in lower difficulties, but I've gotten it there before in Voyager for sure. Bed. Ooh, you know what? There's no bed, but there is a truck, and you can sleep in the truck. Bed adjacent? Yes. Scenery? No, I don't like the scenery. The scenery sucks. Difficult terrain? No, we're gonna leave it. Pleasant Valley is mostly flat. You have so many good photos from PV though. PV is good for photos for sure. And does anybody think that the barn has good scenery potential from the barn, not from Pleasant Valley alone? But from the barn. Give it like 100-foot radius. Is it very scenic there, or is it just a farm, you know? But it is like a great in-between, I will say, between Thompson's Crossing and Molly's Farmstead. If there's a sunrise, then yeah, that's true. If there's a sunrise, but I feel like you could say that about anywhere, you know? If there's a sunrise in any of these locations, I think it would be great to have the camera anywhere. Like, of course, you could say the scenery could be beautiful anywhere in this game because of the sky, but I don't think the barn poses a nice scenic view as is, right? It's not near a vista. It's not, you know, the prettiest looking building. I get you. I understand what you're saying. But for this purposes, I think that's it. I'm thinking B, crafting station. That's right. It does have a crafting bench. You know what? That's a great thing to add onto the list, Toasty. Thank you. Crafting bench? Yes. Gonna say maybe B because it has a convenient location. I agree. B is the correct answer, you guys. I think that's great. Okay, next on the list is the hangar in Forsaken Airfield. Woo! Kind of a great spot. I mean, it's you're always going there. Whenever you're going to Forsaken Airfield, hangar is the first place you go. It's pretty much the first place you run into when you go down the track. It does have hostile predators, quite a few actually, quite a few. Small game, yeah. Big game, yeah. There's big game in the region. Fishable region, yeah. There's the big lake there. What's the lake called? The lake is called, oh, Shoulder Lake. That is right. Yeah, that lake is great. I mean, freshwater fish, so you can't get any saltwater fish, but you don't need to. Big loot potential? Yes, absolutely. This hangar has the recipe card for Camber Flight Forge. That's great. That's big loot. And also, there's just a ton of stuff there. Oh my god, you know what? We should put Forge on this list. We're putting Forge on this list. It does have a bed. It's in the basement. I think this is like the barn in Pleasant Valley. I don't think it's very scenic at the hangar itself. It does have a crafting bench down in the basement, and it does have a forge down in the basement. One of very few locations that has a forge, especially in the far territories. You're not going to find a whole lot of forges there. Difficult terrain? Yes, I would say on the way in, if I'm on Interloper and I want to get to Forsaken Airfield, I really have to hit a good day. Planes are good scenery. There could be a good photo opportunity for planes and such, right? Planes ramp makes it look more alive. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's, yeah, we can say there's scenery. I will give it to you for that. I think it should all count. Yeah. Difficult terrain. I think it's got everything, you know, and these aren't necessarily like good and or bad things. Like they're both, right? Because you could say hostile predators. I said this for the last region tier list we did. Hostile predators could be good or bad depending on how well you're set up, right? So if you got your bow, if you got a bunch of fucking guns to blow those little shits away, that's great. That's great. You're set up, you know? Then you can get the moosehide satchel. You can make the bearskin bedroll. All the bearskin beds are probably the one. And, you know, make a rug or something. Hopefully you have the woodworking tools. Very great stuff, right? But yeah, okay, so this has everything. This might be A tier. A? Okay, okay. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna have to give it A. It is. This next one, it's hard to see, but it's the Angler's Den in Ash Canyon. Hostile predators, yes, there's wolves. Even just outside of there, you can get the second cougar on that lake. You know, if you see my vegan photographer video, I got killed by the cougar there. Hey, hate Ash Canyon. Yeah, see, I had that to say too for the region tier list video, but then a lot of people were like, no, I love Ash Canyon as a home base. And I'm like, that's crazy, because what I said is I'm in and out. I go for the technical backpack in the gold mine, and then I like hike out of there. That's all I'm going for, you know? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, but hey, I mean, to each their own, right? Fishable region, yes, of course, it's the Angler's Den. It's for the anglers. Big loot potential. There is the cache just outside the little box. I think it's only fish. I think you can only get fish from there. There is, however, a couple arrowheads in the hut. So I don't know I don't think that's big loot potential though, you know? It saves you from having to go to the forge and make them. That's tough. That's tough. Scenery in Ash Canyon, yeah, it's a nice looking cabin. It's certainly a nice looking cabin. Crafting bench, yeah, actually there's a crafting bench in there, which is really nice. Let's see where this is going. I want to say C on this one. On Angler's Den, I don't think it's like that. It's on the way to the curator's rifle. This is true. I guess if you're on like interloper, you're not getting the curator's rifle, but you're right. It is there, isn't it? Maybe C, maybe B. I want to say C too. C sounds like it sounds good. It sounds doable. So Angler's Den, C. Now, Mystery Lake Camp Office. Mystery Lake Camp Office. One of arguably the best base location in Mystery Lake region. I love the camp office, dude. I love it a lot. Hostile predators, yeah. Small game, yeah. Big game, yeah. Fishable region, yeah. Big loot potential, yeah. There can be a lot of good stuff in that Mystery Lake camp office. There can be a bedroll, and there can be a ton of stuff. It's great. It's great. There's a couple beds, which is excellent. You could have friends over if you wanted to, you know? Scenery, yes. With the lake right there, arguably is great. And then you can go up to the cave up on top of the lake. I know it's like not the camp office, but it's like right there, and you can get a great shot of the aurora or the morning, you know? I think it's a great little spot. Crafting bench, yeah, there's one in the back. Excellent. Difficult terrain? No, it's Mystery Lake. It's one of the easier regions, unless you're going up on the hill, but that's not, you know, we're not talking about going up on the hill. This one's a pretty easy one. I have a main base there. Yes, I would say like going from the train tracks, it's close to a region transition. And then yeah, you just like it's so easy to pass by and stop in, keep going up to Carter Hydro Dam. 10 out of 10 in my opinion, Matt. I fully agree. S it is. Nut. Okay, moving on. We got Carter Hydro Dam. Carter Hydro Dam is also the next big base location, possible base location in Mystery Lake. Right back to back, baby. Right back to back. You know, same stuff as last time pretty much in Mystery Lake. I probably didn't have to check all these off again. But big loot potential in the dam, yeah, 100%. You know, you go to the lower dam, there's like bow and arrow there, and it can be anyway, depending on your difficulty. Bed, yeah, there's a bed there, right? Hang on, is there a bed there? Maybe not. No, there's no bed there. There's no like makeshift bed. I know there's trailers outside, but that is not Carter Hydro Dam. Scenery, not really. There isn't a bed? Okay, good call, good call. I put the dam in A rather huge amount of loot also near several other regions via ravine and the river. This is true. The one downside is the aurora causing half it to be cut off. I would also say, yeah, the amount of big loot potential in there is very, very great, but there's no beds. And then, yeah, what you're saying about the aurora, it's a problematic spot. And plus, say you're early on in like an interloper run and you spawn right by there, you try to go in, you can't really explore half of it because you don't have matches, or like a light source, right? Or like you don't want to use your matches up if you even have some, right? So that's tough. But yeah, this one is also right by some region transitions, just like the Mystery Lake camp office. Yeah, no bed. Scenery, I'm gonna say no. Scenery's not too great unless you're like out on the edge of the dam. Maybe back there, looking off on the winding river. Crafting bench, yeah, there's a crafting bench like right inside as soon as you walk in. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, I'm gonna say no, just because it's inside the dam. Yeah, okay. It is close to a couple region transitions. It does have big loot potential. There's a lot of stuff to check in there. I'm almost of the mind, like, it might be B for me, you know, but I wouldn't doubt, like, you know, you could say A, you could say C, you could say S if you really enjoyed it, you know? Hey, loot in the dam. Hey, there's also a lot of stuff there, Ginger. You're absolutely right. There's a little bit too much. If I go to the dam and I'm in a rush, I'm not checking upstairs, you know? And then plus, like, upstairs has so many drawers. And it's like, I'm gonna search all of these drawers for Literally one bag of ketchup chips. You know, ketchup chips aren't even great on a good day, you know? They kind of suck. Give me some all-dressed chips, man, because I agree. I think B is probably the best case, along with the Barn and PV. I think that's solid. I think that's solid. There are better options. There are better options, absolutely. And I think we'll see that. I mean, we've seen that with the Mystery Lake camp office already, right? So there's only really one more base there. And we could go to it right now. Trapper's Cabin, the third base location out of 4 in Mystery Lake. I'm almost of the mind, like, you can get the rifle there. There's the rifle. Let's go through the list because we didn't go through the list. Hostile predators? Yeah. Wait, you can get the moose there though, right? You can get the moose. Small game? Yes, there's a great rabbit grove out back. Big game? Yeah, there's deer. You can get deer there. Fishable region? Yeah, it's a little far away, so take that into consideration. It is very far away. There's some big stuff there. You can also get the stim. Big loot potential? Yes! Big loot potential. You can get all that stuff that we just said. Bed? Yes! A very comfy bed that Jeremiah used to sleep in. Scenery? It's a nice looking spot. It's a little bit of a clearing, maybe? Crafting bench? Yeah, there's a crafting bench there. Forge? No forge. It's actually the best bed. It's the best bed, dude. It is literally the best bed. Gets an extra 5% healing per hour. We love that. Yeah, we love the super bed. Difficult terrain? No, it's not. It's in Mystery Lake. I'm of the mind to put this in A. Personally, I think this is the second best base location because it's right by the Mountain Town transition region too. The Cave 2 Mountain Town. Also, it's just it's a nice little house. It's a nice little cabin, you know? I would say A because I don't think it's as good as the camp office and I don't think it's as bad as the Carter Hydro Dam. I'm gonna stick it. Boom! It's a good stash house. It's a good stash house, you know? All right, the next one in Mystery Lake, we have the Firewatch Tower. Firewatch Tower, woo! The one where you can get the Henry Quest letter. You know what I'm talking about? It's really high up. You know, we're gonna go through this list, but I think you have to start that Henry Quest via a note on a body down below. You don't even start it up there. Hostile predators? No. I'm going to say no because you're on the mountain. There's no hostile predators on the mountain. Small game? Yeah, there can be ptarmigans. There can be ptarmigans. I don't know about rabbits, but there's definitely ptarmigans up there. Big game? No. I'm going to say no. If you have to go up and down, I feel like it's kind of secluded because it's so high, you know? It's such a tough thing to get up and down from. It's a long way to walk if you're going up. Fishable region? Like, yeah, again, but also it's really far away from any fishable location spot. Big loot potential, I guess, because you could get the stims. Can you get a rifle up there? Bed? Yeah, there's a bed up there. I'm gonna say big loot potential because of the stim. You can get a stim. Crafting bench? No. No forge. Difficult terrain? Yes. I'm gonna say difficult terrain, not in the region, but getting up to the hill. B, similar to the Hunter's Cabin, it's just kind of away from everything, needed to use a lot of energy to travel up and down. Yeah, it's tough. The scenery, okay, scenery, yes. Big time scenery because it's on the hill. You know, you can get a great, I think it's a Vista location too, isn't it? I would also say B or C. It is a Vista, perfect. Okay, great. B because the scenery, otherwise it would be a C. The scenery is nice. The scenery is nice. I think B is a good spot. I think B, I think you guys were right. Firewatch Tower in Mystery Lake, B, baby, B. We're moving on. Thompson's Crossing Community Center in Pleasant Valley. That is probably one of my favorite spots to go in Pleasant Valley. It is something I always hit up anytime I'm in Pleasant Valley. I'm like, gotta go to Thompson's Crossing. There's some great stuff there. Let's do the list. We don't have the list for no reason. Hostile predators, yes. So you can get the wolves, like very close. You can get them as soon as you walk out of the base. Small game. Yeah, there's some rabbits out back by the church. They're there. They're around. Big game. Yeah, there's deer close by. You can also get that deer carcass that always spawns on the other side of the river. That's always like a good source of like 1.1 kilos of meat or something like that. Then you can get the hide and the guts, which is great, and then run back inside real quick. Fishable region? Yes. Big loot potential? Yeah. I'm going to say yeah, because you can get the Thompson's families too. The recipe card in there. That's great. You can get the rifle if you're not on Interloper. You can get the rifle down in the little side hut on the river. Bed? Yes, there's plenty of little beds there. They're excellent. Scenery? I have a hard time saying that the scenery is great. Crafting bench? No. I don't think so. No forge, difficult terrain? No. We're going to say no. I want to say A or B. Put an S if there weren't timberwolves. Yes, that's true. You can get quite a few timberwolves there in Pleasant Valley. It's good. It's just like it can be dangerous, you know? And store across the road, that's true. The store has a bunch of good stuff, you know? I think those are definitely included in this base location. Those are amenities that are close by, you know? Let's throw it in. Unless anybody has any strong opinions right now, I'm feeling A. Boom. Moving on, concentrator building in the ZOC DLC regions. So if you have the DLC, this is the only way you can get there. The concentrator building's fucking huge. There are a couple great things in there though. Let's go through the list. Hostile predators, yes, you got the sick ass wolves. They're not good. They suck. Cutter Hydro Dam 2.0. Yeah, I would say it's pretty much Cutter Hydro Dam 2.0. Small game. I don't even think there's small game around. Ptarmigans aren't around in the town because of all the poison acid, you know? Big game? No. There's a bear way over on the other side of the pit, but like, I wouldn't say it's near the concentrator, right? You can go down to the mine though. Big loot potential? I'm gonna say yes, big loot potential, because there is the gas mask. If you want to go into the mines, you gotta have the gas mask. And also there's the woodworking tools. That is a guaranteed thing you can get in the concentrator building. It's at the very top. When the sun's shining through, it lights it up. It's beautiful. Fishable region? No. Can you fish there? I feel like they'd be acid fish. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think so. Bed? Yeah, there's a truck. We're gonna count it. There's definitely a truck in there. Scenery? Nah. Crafting bench? Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's one in one of the adjacent buildings, because you can get to the mine too from one of the buildings from the concentrator building, right? So does that count? Does it all count as one? I think we're gonna have to all count it as one. So definitely a crafting bench. Forge? I don't think there's a forge there. Difficult terrain? Yes, I'm gonna say there is, because of all the acid and the wolves. You don't want to mess with like any of it really, because that acid, even if you don't get the chemical poisoning, even walking through it will degrade your clothing. I'm almost like C. If I'm in zone of contamination, it might be one of the better spots. It's like got a lot of stuff. C tier, Cusk, you're absolutely right. C tier. Boom. Next one, the little fishing huts over in the coastal highway region. These aren't very good. I mean, they got beds. Hostile predators, yes. Small game, yeah, there's some things close by. I think some rabbits, if you go over to the bridge, they're close. Big game, yeah. Fishable region, yeah. Big loot potential, no. I'm gonna say no. These cabins don't have shit. Bed, yeah, there's a bunch of beds in there. Scenery, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the coastal highway, I think there's a lot of good scenic potential. Crafting bench, yeah, there's one behind one of the burnt down huts on the other side. Or I don't think it's burnt down in every difficulty, but it is there. It's behind one of them. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. I think C or even D. Okay, you guys have sold it. We're going to D. It's getting dropped down. Boo. Give me the vine boom sound, okay? Editor Grape, give me the vine boom. Make it sound dramatic. Okay, now we're going to arguably my favorite base location, Quincy's Quonset. Needless to say, this has a lot of great stuff. Let me show you. Let me hold your hand, babe. Hostile predators? Yeah, there's a bunch of hostile predators. You can get the Muso back. The bear walks the road and he walks around the freaking Quonset too. He does. Dangerous. Wolves? Yeah, you got a bunch of them. But you can also get small game. There's some rabbits around. There's on the other side of the thing. They're here. They're over there. They're everywhere. There's a small little thing up top. Big game, yeah. There's big game. There's deer that can spawn there. Fishable region, yeah, of course. It's in the harbor. A lot of saltwater fish, absolutely. Big loot potential, yes. You can get so much good stuff here. You can get oil, jerry cans of oil. You can get a bunch of food. There's flares that you can get on the thing. You could also get the trader radio, which is something we should bring up more often, because didn't talk about it. Mr. Lake Camp Office also has the trader radio. You know, I mean, it's kind of useless way out there unless you like really, you know, you need to talk to them. But you can set up a trade, get it ready for when you go to Coastal Highway. Quincy's Quonset is in Coastal Highway, where you have to do the trading. Bed? Yeah, there's a not very comfy bed in there. It's a bed regardless. Right by the fire barrel. Kind of nice if you're freezing to death. Great loot, too much hostile mobs. There's a lot of mobs. That's true. Scenery? Yeah. You go around the lake. It's right there. I'm gonna count it. I'm counting. Crafting bench, yes. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. But it has a lot of great stuff, you know? Doesn't even need the forge to be good, right? For now, Quincy's Quonset, I'm thinking S or A, okay? If you say B, I'll think less of you, but it's also an option. I love it. I know it is a dangerous spot. I've definitely died there before, you know? So, like, I might even say myself, even though I love it and it's probably my favorite, it might be A. It might be A. A, because of the hostile mobs. I think we're gonna have to do it. I think we're sticking that. Quincy's Quonset, boom, in A. Next up is Hibernia. The Hibernia processing plant in Desolation Point. It's the whale processing plant. You can get tons of stuff there. Let's talk about it. Hostile predators. Yeah, you can get the bear. He roams around there, you know? Wolves out on the ice, but if you're talking about like just around the Hibernia, yeah, the bear walks right up. It's there. It's there. The bear. Small game. Is there any rabbits around there? Rabbits or ptarmies? I don't think so. Nothing close by. Big game, not close. They're all over by the church, aren't they? That's a little further, you know? That's a little far out, okay? Closest small game are on the little island. Okay. Bed? Yeah. Yeah, there's a shitty little bed up in the office. Go sleep in that. Scenery? Not really. Like, would you guys consider like looking out onto the ocean? Scenery? I guess. Now I'm convincing myself now. Kinda. Crafting bench? Yeah, there's a nice little crafting bench down there by the fire pit. Difficult terrain? No, not really. You know, you get up there pretty easily. Honestly, I'm kind of like, when I do go there, I'm in and out. Did I talk about the big loot potential? I don't think so. I've gotten a flare gun there. I've gotten a bedroll. There is a safe in there that sometimes you can get okay stuff. I think I've gotten some okay stuff, not like really crazy stuff in there. You can also get the stim. I've gotten the stim in there. I'm counting it. I'm counting big loot potential, okay? There's a lot of like big ticket items, but I wouldn't say that that pushes over the edge. I'm thinking like C or B here. There's a lot of oil that can spawn there. A lot of wood, a lot of wires, I know. You can get the heavy hammer. You can get a revolver in there. Okay, okay. You can get canned peaches. I think there's a guaranteed pack of matches too. You can either get it on the bench or in that little cubby section off to the room with the bunk beds. C, because you can get a bedroll there on Interloper. Okay, okay. C tier. I think we might have to go C. I'm throwing it in C for now. Boom. I'm pretty sure this one is the trailer in Keeper's Pass, which, not gonna lie, I never go there. I think I've been there once. I think it's the only indoor location in Keeper's Pass, south or north. I haven't been there once. Yeah, I think I've been there like once. I want to throw this in F so bad, just because like useless, teeny tiny trailer. And yeah, it's just a trailer. It's just a trailer. I feel like it deserves F. If you have an opinion on this, please let me know. And if you're here later on, if you're watching this in an edited down video, please let me know if you actually like Keeper's Pass, north or south, or if it's just like a transition region. Let me know. Totally useless F. Yeah, I'm not even gonna check the list off for this one. We'll uncheck it. We're gonna throw it in F. Keeper's Pass, get it out of here. F it is. We got our first F, folks. Get the F out of here. Next on the list is the house, that base in Blackrock. Boo! Bricklayer's Retreat. If you've seen my cooking video, where we make recipes in the long dark, going after the achievement that I totally forget what it is. Chef's plate. I don't know. The achievement's there in my head. But if you've seen that, there's like timberwolves on the ice everywhere. I was locked in there. It was not good. There's also a moose that can spawn there. I'm not a fan of Blackrock in general. S because you hate Blackrock? No, that is what Sarah Novus would say. That is Sarah Novus's line. She would say the same stuff. She would be like, it's S because you hate it, because you think it's an F. No, no. Bricklayer's Retreat, I don't like it at all. There's really nothing there. I mean, even the bunker's far away. The prison's far away. I don't know. Are we going back-to-back Fs? There's nothing there either. Hostile, yes. Probably. Fishable, you can fish that lake, I'm pretty sure. Big loot, no. Bed, there is a little tiny, there's a blanket on the floor you can sleep on. A genuine answer, it sucks. That's what I'm thinking. It does have a crafting bench outside, but it's like, are you gonna craft with all the timberwolves around? Probably not. There is a fireplace inside, but I don't know. Difficult terrain. Difficult in terms of animals, yes. But like, you know, wouldn't use it for a base. Yeah, I wouldn't use it for a base either. It's a stop for the night if you need to kind of thing. That's the only time I've ever done anything there. I think we're gonna have to go back-to-back Fs. That's crazy. Back-to-back Fs after there's nothing there. Holy hell, we're getting to the shitty base locations, you guys. Things are going to shit. Moving on, we are going to the Hunting Lodge in Broken Railroad. Woo! Hunting Lodge. Hunting Lodge. Sarah Novus was here on her run. She was here. She got the hunting rifle here. And then she got the recipe card for, was it Briar House Pie? Yeah, Briar House Pie. There's also the festive sweater here, you know? You can get the rope to get down the rope later. There can be a fire striker. I've gotten a fire striker so many times outside in that little tiny shed. B for near game and the looks. Otherwise, a placing is pretty inconvenient. It is. So that's the thing. You have to go up and around across the lake. You don't have to cross the lake, but it's pretty much across the lake. There's two wolves, but you can easily avoid them. It's a pretty inconvenient spot. It's a great looking base. If you go up there, you're spending the day, you know? Hostile predators, yes. Small game, there are plenty rabbits there. Fishable region, you can fish on the lake, right? Scenery, yeah. I'm gonna say looking off the cliffside, it looks nice, you know? It looks nice. B, it's got big and small game and medicine plants, but it's a hike away. Yes, it's your holiday base when you're on your 1,000-day run. I agree with that. That is a great take. But it is a holiday, it's a holiday base. It's a vacation base. I would say B. B is a good assumption, you know? It was a close B or C, but I think just because it's so big and it has so much stuff, it has a lot of potential. It is nice. I think it has to go in B. Moving on, we have the Island Cottage in Forsaken Airfield. If you have the DLC, you might know this actually, because it's kind of off the beaten path. There's the hangar, and then you keep going down like the road to like final approach, and like if you look off to your right, there's gonna be a big lake. That's Shoulder Lake, okay? And that is where we're at. There's a cabin. It's the Island Cottage. Now, if you've seen, what challenge was I here at? The cooking challenge, the cook-off. I was here on my cook-off, and I love this spot. I was here for so long. It's actually where I wanted to like finish the challenge, but then I realized that I needed saltwater fish, so then I had to go back to like Coastal Highway. Island cottage. It's nice. It's out of the way. So hostile predators, yeah. There are wolves that are off onto the ice. There's also a bear and a moose on the ice that you can get. But the wolves will actually come onto the island. They can spawn like kind of on the island or just down below. If you have meat on you, they will smell it and come up onto the island. So that's not good. I've had that before. Small game, yeah. There's a rabbit grove right outside. Excellent. And there's ptarmigan just off to the left too if you come out the front door. Big game, yeah. There's a deer carcass there. You can also get deer around. Cougar will also spawn very close to this island, so you got to be careful. Usually he's to the north, so you don't really get him too much. Fishable region, yeah, there's a fishing hut right outside. Big loot potential? No, not really big loot potential. Not really. There's a bed. It's a nice little cabin. It's a nice vacation home. Scenery? Top tier scenery. Top tier. I'm thinking for this one, I want to go C or B. Maybe C, because it's so out of the way. Glimmer fog. We gotta account for glimmer fog here, because glimmer fog doesn't affect you too much in the hangar if you're in the basement. Glimmer fog here, unavoidable. There's no basement to go into. You're gonna get insomnia. So I think I'm gonna have to go. I might have to throw it in C, just because it's so far away. I love it, but I think I have to throw it in C. Let me know if that's what you think. I think unfortunately, it's so nice. It's beautiful, but just base-wise, you can do it. It's just so out of the way. If you need to go somewhere else, you're traveling quite a ways. Next up is, this looks like the island in Coastal Highway, because it's a bad picture. I'm gonna say both Jackrabbit Island and Misanthrope's Homestead. It's one or the other. We'll just say both the islands. What do we think of the islands in Coastal Highway? It's kind of good, kind of bad. I'm there. I always go back and forth. You're getting the trader out back, you know. So if I go put some trades in, you know, for Sutherland, I'm just heading back up to the house to warm up, because usually I'm cold when I get down there. You know, I'm hypothermic. Get up to the house, warm up, get out of the house, go back to Quonset to Misanthrope Homestead, to the trader, to the Misanthrope Homestead. It's a nice in-between. I wouldn't say that I'm there doing a lot of, you know, home basing. It's an in-between location. There is the bear right outside, and plus, like, he's in the cave if you're on the ice. And then also the wolves, they can get around there. It's a storage room. It's a storage room for trading things. Yes. Small game, yeah. Yeah. Big game, yeah, on the ice, sure. Fishable region, big loot potential, no. I'm not gonna say there's any good loot, big loot potential. There's a bed. Scenery, yeah, you're on the island. It's nice and scenic, you know, you get a good sunrise on the ocean. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. I'm almost of the mind, like, storage location, because it's not a home base. I want to say D. Beach combing should count towards it. Beach combing is great, actually. That is a good thought. Good thought. Maybe C then. C for beach combing. That might have bumped it up to C. I'm for C. C sounds like a good little spot. C it is. C has taken over. They've taken top spot now. What the hell? We have mediocre bases in this place. What is a base if not storage? A home. Moving on. Oh my god, holy hell. Hang on, what is this one? I'm pretty sure. Okay, look at this. Look at this right here. This looks like the cabin in Bleak Inlet, like when you come down the rope and go left. I think that's what this is. Not gonna lie, I didn't know this existed until like the last couple weeks. I did not know this was in the region at all. I've never been over there. There's never been a need for me to go check that little corner, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. I want to say D almost, because, like, do you guys go here? Have you guys been here? I go down the rope and then I go right to the cannery workers residence, or right over to the cannery. It could be a new stopping spot for me, but as far as like a home base goes, I don't think so, you know? I only loot and leave? Yeah, I don't think it's a home base spot either. I'm not even gonna check that stuff because, like, it is a loot and leave situation. D, the Desolation Point Lighthouse, a staple in Desolation Point. It can have the flare gun. It's got the coastal fish cakes recipe if you have the DLC. It has a guaranteed stim. Actually, I don't think it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed on Interloper. I've always gotten it on Interloper. I don't know if I'm just lucky, but I've gotten it there. You can get a flare gun there. So hostile predators, yeah, on the way. There's a moose on the rocks just outside too. You can get the wolves coming down. Small game, yeah. There's rabbits on the road on the way over. They're right there, you know. It has an axe spawn. True. Timberwolves, maybe a moose. Oh yeah, over there. Yeah, that's true. There can be timberwolves. I've gotten them when I did go check it. 10 out of 10. No notes. I love the lighthouse. You love the lighthouse. 10 out of 10. Really adds a level by virtue of being a lighthouse. Damn. You think it's like top tier? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And you get beach combing if you go outside. You know, big loot potential. Absolutely, I would say so. Scenery. Yeah, it's a lighthouse. You're up on a rock. Forge is relatively close. It is, but we're not going to count it because it's not there. Plus, the Ricken is it's a spot in this, so we're not counting it as a forge on this. I think you guys wanted an S. That's interesting. I did not expect you guys to think that this goes in S. I think we need a controversial take for this video, so I think we have to go S for the lighthouse in Desolation Point. It gets it. It lights the dark night up. We got to do it. S. The climbing huts in Sundered Pass. Moving on. These are not good home base locations. I only use them if I got to stop in, you know? Like, I'm sleeping there to get my fatigue meter back up, to get some energy. It's just like what the purpose is for them, you know? It's a stop at night during your climbing expedition. That's all it is. That's all these are. They're not really home bases. Hostile predators, yes. Small game, not really close, no. Big game, not really close. We're not counting it. It's right on the mountainside. Fishable region. Can you fish that pond down there? I have never tried. I don't think so. Big loot potential, no. Bed, yeah, there's got to be a bed in there. Scenery, yeah, it's on the side of a mountain. Crafting bench, no. Forge, difficult terrain, yes. I'm want to say F or D. D or F for these little huts in Sundered Pass. Like, they can become useful, but it's not like you're storing gear there, because there's no guarantee you're going to come back that way. There's so many ways around the mountain. Rightfully put it above D. I think that's it. I think we're going to have to go... Give it to me, baby. F. Yeah, they're going in F. That is so real. Maintenance shed, broken railroad. This is a must stop if you're on your way through broken railroad. It's a non-negotiable. There is a lot of wolves there. There's also some small game on your way, I guess, like out on the lake too. If you're going that way, it's a little far though, I guess. Within the confines of the fence, no. There's no small game. Big game, there's corpses around, but like not really like big game in there. So no. We're not going to say fishable region. Yeah, the pond, I guess, if you're fishing there. Big loot potential. Yes. I would say there's tons of good loot here. You can get the jerry can of oil. That's almost a guarantee. It might be a guarantee. Then you can get the stim underneath the crates up top of that little path you can climb up on. And then, of course, you got like a bunch of other stuff you can get from the office. You know, you got the bed in the office. Scenery? No. There's no scenery there. It's just a bunch of industrial stuff there. Big pieces of hunks of metal and stuff. Forge? Yeah, there's a forge there. It's one of the only forges around. Difficult terrain? No. This is a must-stop location, and it's a great like spot to like set up, shop. It can be a home base. In the region, it's probably a better home base than the hunting lodge, you know? Hunting Lodge made it to B tier. This tells me like it might be A tier. That's what I'm saying. Is this the place you got trapped for days? Yes, it is the place that you got trapped for days. The new video. A because of the forge. I think my heart says F because of the trauma, but I know A for keeping me safe. That's true. Any other place you might not have survived. I think it does have to go in A. It is better because of the forge, because of the location, than the Hunting Lodge. So I think we're gonna have to go A for the maintenance shed. Next. Black Rock Penitentiary. Penitentiary? Jail. Black Rock Jail. I'm of the mind. I hate being here. There's a bear that can be around in the back of the prison. There's the wolves and the moose that can be in the front of the prison. Getting there, you're probably running into timber wolves. You're definitely running into some black wolves maybe along the way. S? No, we're not putting in an S. It's definitely not S. If you have no DLC, there's almost no point in going there. That's true. D, too much hassle. It is a lot of hassle. There's the Warden's Revolver. You can get the vest, but that thing's heavy, man. Man, nobody's going there for that. It is too much hassle. Because of the loot, it will get bumped up from F to D, but because it's such a shitty spot, it is in D. You're absolutely right. D it is. Black Rock Prison. Next, this looks like, let me zoom in. This is the idle camp in zone of contamination. This is like on the way to the concentrator building. If I'm in the zone of contamination, I'm stopping here. Confirm. Only stop if I'm dying. Damn. I stop there all the time. I'll spend a night there and then I'll move on. Got the trader radio, Sutherland's radio, and also like it has the big stove in there too. Hostile predators, yes, the wolves can come right up. They can come into the camp. If you got meat on you, they'll smell it. They'll walk around the cabins. You can get the chemical gear there, which can be good. Fishable region, no. Big loot. I'm gonna say yes because you can get a lot of good food. You can get the skillet and the pot too from the kitchen, and the chemical gear that could be useful. Beds, yeah, there's absolutely a lot of beds. Scenery, no. I'm gonna say no. It's in the zone of contamination. Crafting bench, is there a crafting bench? I don't think so. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, we'll say there is. C or D. C. Idle camp is going in C because there is a big stove. Big stove is selling it for me. We love big stove. Okay, this next one right here. This is Homesteader's Respite. Yes. I'm never there. I'll go there if I need something. There's no need to be there, kind of, sort of. I'm in and out. I'm up to the gold mine. I'm back down. You know, there's no need for me to go to the Homesteader's Respite. Cute has a good view. Yeah, that's fair. It does have a good view. The scenery, check. It has a bed. In the Foreman's Retreat area, there's a bunch of hostile wildlife. To get there, there will be, so I will check it. And then if you go down the rope, there is also more wolves down there. There can be timber wolves or regular wolves. So they are there. Big game, like no. Small game, maybe, but I can't confirm. Actually, I think there's ptarmigans around there. Fishable region, yeah, but like you're high up. Crafting bench, ooh, there might be one out back. Forge, no. Big loot potential, no. D, I'm gonna have to say D2. I think you're right. I think you're right. D it is. Boo! The bank in Milton. The bank is interesting because, like, you would think that it is pretty much like the town of Milton as one base, but as a home base location, is anybody staying in the bank? Like, as a place to loot, it's a great little spot. Ever even thought of staying in the bank? Me either. I'm always staying in grandmother's house. The bank is F, the vibes are off, too corporate. Yeah, it's too much work. Like, it's too much like work. It's like I'm going in for a day at the job. Bank's too dark? Bank is dark, but guys, there's guaranteed Moose Kicks coffee in there. And then there's guaranteed coffee too you can get in the microwave. And the money, you can get the Monopoly money. Actually, the Monopoly money is literally just green money, so it's not really Monopoly. It's just like $20 bills, which is green here, but I think they made it all $20 bills for the Americans to feel at home, I guess. Bank? Yeah, I think I have to put bank in F. Nobody's staying at the bank. Presentation mode. Uh-oh. It looks like this now. We've ruined it. Well, this is what you're getting. Let's fix it in post. I'm not fixing this in post. We messed it up. I don't even know how to fix this. I don't even know what I did. I just clicked the thing. Okay, guys, it's in a different format now. Actually, it kind of looks nicer this way. We mess it up? No, we messed it up. We're a team, you guys. We're a team, okay? Okay, moving on. Grandmother's house. Oh! Grandmother's house is probably the spot you want to have a base in Milton. Honestly, it's got predators kind of close by. Yeah, there's the wolf that can be off to the side. Small game, big game. Yeah, fishable region. Yes, yeah, I'm thinking down on Milton Basin, but that's pretty freaking far, you know? Big loot, yeah, you can get the Lily's pancakes there. That's good loot, right? Crafting bench? No, and nothing else. I don't know. This is the place in Mountain Town, you know? I'm thinking A. Is that too reasonable? You can get the skillet there, like if it also has the stove, the 6-slot stove, you guys. B, 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 okay, fine, twist my rubber arm. We'll throw it in B. Boom. Next, oh, this is the other one in Forsaken Airfield. Mindful Cabin. The cabin, it's far away in Forsaken Airfield. I mean, you get final approach on the way. That's about it. Really small game. There is a bear that is around on the way. You can run into the bear. He has that route that crosses the road. So if there's Glimmer Fog, which is there's no escape from that when you're up in the Mindful Cabin. Not at all. Fishable region, yeah. Kind of close to the lake, but it's not as close as Island Cottage. Nothing else. There's a bed. It's not even a good bed. Scenery? It's a great spot for scenery. You can look off. I think it's a vista too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a vista. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. Pretty out of the way, but not going there much. Yeah, much going on there. That's true. Glimmer Fog sucks and can't escape it. Yeah, I concur. Island Cottage. We put Island Cottage. We put it in C. See, I don't think it's as good as Island Cottage. I would say C or D. I almost want to say D because Island Cottage, I would argue, is better because you can go on the lake, you can fish. D is where it belongs. I think D is where it belongs to. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go D for that. D. Boom. Yeah, D it is. Moving on. We have the Firewatch Tower in Coastal Highway. So we rated the other Firewatch Tower in Mystery Lake as B. There's a dog barking upstairs. There's a lot better houses and home bases around than this. This is just sort of like stop if I'm on my way to the Pleasant Valley transition. Otherwise, I'm not really going up there. Like, I'm going up there to check it, but I usually, like, I'm there and then I'm out. I rarely put a base there because I got Quonset. You know, it's kind of out of the way. That's it. You know, there's a different way up to the transition. You don't have to go that way. There is a wolf that prowls around there. Hostile predator, small game. There is small game. There are acorns. There are deer up there. Fishable region. Yeah, big loot. Like, I have a hard time saying big loot, you know? Scenery? It is a good look. You can see the harbor. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. Difficult terrain. C? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go C. C it is. Next is, I hate this spot. This is the snowed-in cabin up on Sundered Pass. You have to climb in through the window to access this. This is one of my least favorite locations because it's like, you just have to go through so many packs of Timberwolves. I think there's like, on the way up, you can run into 3 separate packs, which is insane. Just on that little climb alone, just like on this little spot, you know, maybe on lower difficulties, there's not as much, but that's what I've noticed. There's 3. It's actually a different design in the cabin than most other cabins. I think it's a unique style. You can open the bottom doors too, and then it's just snow, which is kind of cool. This one is gonna go in F or D. I don't think there's anything in there. D or F? Oh man, that's a tough one because I want to say F too, but we'll come back to it, but we're going to throw it in D right now. Only because I like that it's different. Yeah, honestly, the different is kind of giving it a bump. It is nice because it's different, but other than that, you can count me out. You can count me out, soldier. Next on the list, it is Spence Family Homestead, Forlorn Muskeg. This has the forge. Let's look at this. Hostile predators. Yeah, there's a bunch of wolves around. Small game. Yeah, there's some rabbits around. Big game. Yeah, There's some deer around, right? There's some deer around somewhere. Fishable region? No, it's a marsh. Big loot? No. There's a bed up there. Scenery? No. I'm gonna say no. Forlorn Muskeg, not the prettiest. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let me know. Crafting bench? Yes. Forge? Yes. Difficult terrain? Yes, because you gotta cross all that ice, that bog. Tiny forge shack at C or B. That little shack kept me alive for days. I want to say C or D. Forge Muskeg has a pistol spawn. Okay, didn't know that. C, that is not a letter. D, honestly, bring forth the wheel. Bring in the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. We get a 50% chance whichever one we get. What's it gonna land on? C it is. Woo! Congrats. Spence Family Homestead, you made it to C. You have made it to the C tier. You joined the likes of Idle Camp and the Firewatch Tower and Coastal Highway. Next is another spot in Forlorn Muskeg. Check it out. This is the derailment, the train cars on the tracks in the middle of the region. This one you're more likely to run into if you're just crossing the region, which is like what the region's good for, you know, going from Mystery Lake to Broken Railroad to back to Mystery Lake to maybe Mountain Town, Bleak Inlet if you're unlucky, if you have to go down there. This spot is not great. Hostile predators, yeah. The bear on the way, you can get the bear, crosses the train tracks. A lot of wolves around. Small game, I don't think so. Like maybe ptarmigan, but then you have to cross the ice. It's not good. It's not good for that. Big game, not right there, right? Fishable, big loot potential. There's nothing in the train car, right? You can get coal in the train car. You might get a revolver, maybe? You get a book there sometimes, I know. I get wires there all the time. That's kind of shit. Scenery, no. No bed. There's no bed there. You have to bring your own. BYOB. Bring your own bed. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. There is one in the region, but not there. Difficult terrain, I'll say yes because it's on the marsh, but you're not, if you're staying on the tracks, you're relatively fine. I want to put this one in D because it's a nice stop. T-Ram Mill is a good stopping place. Bear, wolves, fireplace, nothing more. There's really nothing more. Victor's right. Victor's right. That deserves D. It's a good stop, and that's it. That is exactly it. That's what I'm thinking too. We'll throw it there. We'll throw it there. In D, it deserves D. D is the very least it deserves. F would be like if we're not going there at all. Next is a substation in Black Rock. Ew. I'll stop there if I'm on my way to the hydro dam, but like, I'm not going there. Hostile predators, yeah, there's a bunch of timber wolves around. There's a bear too that comes out of there. There's a cave, he walks right up. Small game, I think there's some rabbits on the ice out back. There's like a little tiny pond. It's not much. I don't think you can fish on it. Big game, sure. Fishable region, yeah, but far away. Big loot potential? No. I'm going to say no. I don't like it. F. Yeah, there should be more going on. I agree. Yeah, the substation, there's really not a whole lot. I think there's a bed in there, but you're not getting much more than that. There might be a crafting bench. I feel like there is. I feel like it's like Signal Hill. It's very Signal Hill-esque. Man, I want to throw this one in F. Yeah, I think F it is. I'm going for it, guys. I'm freaking going for it. Boom. F has the least amount of... Actually, it's actually tied with a couple of these up there with A and B, but man... Not a lot on S so far. We got to get some good locations here. Speaking of good locations, maybe this is one. Paradise Farms. Paradise Meadows Farms. Sorry. Paradise Meadows Farm. Meadow Farms? Paradise Meadow Farms? You got to find the key to get in the house. The house has some cool stuff. It is a unique house too. Bunch of wolves. Small game. Yeah, there's rabbits, you know. There's a barn too you can check out. There's a fire barrel there and stuff. There is usually a lot of stuff in the cupboards. There's usually a lot of food. You get like some flour, you can get some peaches and stuff. Fishable region, yeah, but it's like the rope is there down to Milton Basin, you know, but it's a double rope climb. So big loot potential. I'm gonna say no. I hesitate to say yes on that. Scenery, nah, not a very good scenic spot. Crafting bench, yeah, there's one out in the barn. Difficult terrain? No, not really. D because you got a lot of hostile wildlife. Yeah, I feel like that's a good assumption there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to throw this one in D too. It's not a very good home base spot, you know? It's like a stop when you're coming up from Milton Basin, and it's like a stop when you're going down to Milton Basin because you need the energy to get down the ropes or up the ropes. D it is. We're throwing it in D. Next one is Molly's house. Molly's farmstead. Molly's homestead. Molly's house. What is it called? I don't know. Molly's house. This is a must stop location when you're in Pleasant Valley. It's sort of like Thompson's Crossing, but I would say I'm stopping at Thompson's Crossing a lot more. I think Thompson's Crossing takes precedent when I'm in Pleasant Valley. It's like the first stop I'm going to. Hostile predators, yeah, the bear comes right up to the barn. It can be crossing the thing. There's also wolves around there. Small game, yeah, there's some rabbits around. Big game, yeah, there's some deers. Fishable region, yeah, big loot potential for sure. You can get a lot of stuff there. A, because I've been attacked by bears by Molly's so many times, but it's good size, good loot. 6 stove, yeah, 6 slot stove. That's true. There are 6 elements on the stove, so. Bed, yeah, plenty of bed. You got the basement. You can get a 10-kilo pack of salt there too. Scenery, It's not bad. It's a farm. Yeah, it's better than the barn, honestly, for scenery. Central to the region, which makes it good. That is very central. That's true. Crafting bench, yeah. Difficult terrain, no. Honestly, A is a good spot. I think it's on par. It's on par with the Thompson's Crossing. I can agree with that. I can agree. They're not in competition. I think they both work well in the region. I think they both work great in the region. Let's go to the next one. Just a bunker. Just any bunker. Think about any bunker. It can be good. It can be great. The randomizer of like, you can get any bunker anywhere. It's like not guaranteed what it is. It is good if you get a good bunker. Like if you get the conspiracy bunker, if you get the hunter's bunker, if you get the kitchen bunker, they're all great, but there's no rhyme or reason to where you're going to get the bunkers. So for that reason, I feel like the bunkers are hit or miss. I want to say C or D, you know? C. Kara says C for the bunkers. So there's 9 bunkers around. I'm not going to fill this out because it's all different. It's all different depending on what bunker you get. C, because if you get a good one, it can be good, but if it's empty, it's empty. Yeah, you're right. It is middle of the road. Let's throw the bunkers in C. Very middle of the road. Next is Signal Hill in Pleasant Valley, another Pleasant Valley location. Like I said, if I'm coming from Winding River, I always stop at Signal Hill first. It is my one spot that I'll stop. Even if it's dark, I'll fucking light the torch. I could get the bear on the way. There's a wolf on the way too. Not a very nice walk to it. Coming up around the side, you can also get the bear coming from Molly's house, and the wolf can be around there. Depends if you're smelly or not. Hostile predators. Yeah, the bear walks right up to Signal Hill. He walks right by the fence. If you don't know, that's dangerous. Small game. Yeah, there's ptarmigans up there. Fishbowl region, yeah. You can go to Pensive Pond. It's close. Big loot potential. I hesitate on that. I don't, like, you can get the stim. You can get boots, actually. I'm going to say yes. It depends what's in the lockers, because you can get the stim. I've gotten the stim there. I think I've gotten a flare gun there before. You can get some, like, really good food. There's certainly some good food there. In lower difficulties, you can get the peanut butter, peaches, you know, very calorie-dense stuff. Bed, yes. Scenery? Scenery is so good. The scenery looking off, see Molly's farm. Beautiful, beautiful. Crafting bench? Yes, there's a crafting bench there. There's a microwave on it that you can open up and get a coffee. Forge? No. Difficult terrain? I'm going to say yes, because it is a walk to get up to, and it's also a climb to get down if you want. But I always go down. Like, I always go, there's another way you can go down that you can kind of go. Sounds C tier. It kind of does sound C tier, you know? D, loot is okay. Hostile wildlife makes it awkward and unsafe. I think we're going to have to go D. I think you're right. D tier. Okay, D it is. Signal Hill, D. Next is, Last Resort Cannery. Oh, gross. Last Resort because there's a bunch of Timberwolves. If you can't get in the cannery without aggroing the Timberwolves. Small game, I'm going to say no. No, because you're trapped within the confines of the whole freaking spot there. Big game, no. There's wolves, that's it. Fishable region, yeah, you can fish. It's a harbor region. Big loot potential, 100%. You can get some great stuff there. There's a recipe card there. But the only problem with this base location is that it's tough to get into the door if you haven't been up to Echo 1 radio tower, because you need the code. But there is, if you don't know, there's a little back door to where you have to climb up to get over to the cannery door. There's a little back room with a little bed. You can sleep there. Yeah, you can sleep there, which is nice, even if you don't have the cannery code. Crafting bench, yes. Forge, nope, but there's an ammunition bench. Ammunition bench is there, which is good if you have a gun, if you're on anything stalker and below. Difficult terrain, like, just because of the hostile predators. I don't think the terrain is too difficult. Sure, getting down from Echo 1 radio tower is difficult with the rope, but I mean, other than that, it's not too bad. I'm almost of the mind to put this in like B, you know? It's like, it's useful. It's useful is what it is. But other than being useful, I don't think anybody's there making a base. No real food, so C. I mean, there's a lot of sardines you can get because it was the cannery, right? For the Last Resort sardines. That's where they canned the sardines at. B or C, I like the loot and it's a fun place to do, but the need for the code to get in makes it a C. Honestly, cannery might have to go in B. I think that's it. B it is. We have another Firewatch Tower, and I want to say this one's... Is this the one in Bleak Inlet? So, Bleak Inlet, Firewatch Tower. I'm going to say I spend more time here probably than the cannery, but only because I have to stop and rest because I'm running from the Timberwolves I just encountered to get down from, say, the ravine, down to the Firewatch Tower, get rid of the Timberwolves. I fight them there, and then I go down to Echo 1, and then I have to come back up to the Firewatch Tower and get down the rope to get down to the cannery. It's like a stop in between. It's not my home base. I'm not making a home base there. I feel like I have to put that below the cannery. It's a C or a D. Either way, what did we put the other Firewatch towers in? We put one in B and we put one in C. Honestly, out of the 3 Firewatch towers, this one is probably the worst. I think I'm gonna have to put it in D, honestly. It's going in D. Next on the list is the church in Milton, in Mountain Town rather. It's just outside of Milton. It's sort of like a stop. I only go here if I am going to HRV, and then I stop here to check it, and then I move on to the trailer, and then I go to HRV, you know? I'm never going to the church otherwise. I might put this one in F. Thoughts, questions, concerns, conundrums? It's D or F for me. It's not a home base. If you're that close to Milton, just go to Grandmother's. It has got loot in the piano, or is that only in Wintermute? I think it's only in Wintermute. I'm pretty sure. It has a bed though. Hostile predators. There is a cougar up back. Small game, yeah. Big game, yeah. Bed. There is a bed you can sleep in. Scenery, no. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no, no, no. I think I want to put an F. I'm gonna throw it in an F. Church, place of religion. Get it out here. It's going in F. It's in F, bitch. Next up is a Signal Void bunker. So the bunker you can get in the Signal Void DLC quest line. I'm not sure if this is like Rudiker's bunker specific, but let's just say it's any of the like the beta bunkers, just any of them, you know, in the quest line. They got some good loot, you know. They have pretty much like everything around. The only thing to access them, you do need to be in the Aurora. So like hostile predators to the max, you know, there's probably small game and big game around, you know, because I think you get one in HRV, and then fishable region, like it can be for sure. Big loot potential, yeah, you can get the canned corn. Canned corn, big loot, big loot. You can make one recipe with that. Fantastic. Beds, yeah. Scenery, it's down in the, it's underground, so no. Crafting bench, I feel like there's always a crafting bench down there, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if there's a forge in them. Unless you're doing the quest line, you're not coming across it. You have to also get there by getting the radio in Forsaken Airfield first in the control tower. I don't know. Yeah, good loot, but unless you're doing the quest, it's awkward, heck, because you need the radio and the thing for the Aurora. Yeah, I'm torn between C and D, honestly, because yeah, just the fact that unless you're doing the quest, unless you want to get there, is the loot worth it? Like you get the tactical, what is the thing you find in there? The tactical balaclava. You know, you unlock them once. The one in the HRV is a nice base. Okay. C sounds like a middle of the road where it's like it is a pain in the ass to get to, but once you get to it, you've got it. And yeah, plus HRV, it would be the only indoor location in HRV, so that makes it worth it. Pretty much makes the region worth going to. You know, I'm not going to HRV for much else, so that would make it actually a nice little journey to get into. Next is the Rickon. Check it out. It's the shipwreck boat that you find in Desolation Point. It has a forge. Let's check that off right away. That's the big thing. That's a big selling point right away, is the forge. Difficult terrain? Not really. One way in, one way out. Hostile predators, like, yeah, there's wolves and there's the moose around, but like overall, kind of not really. There is small game and big game on that island, that small little island out there. It's close enough. We're going to count it as having small and big game because you really just have to go back there. There is deer, there are rabbits, and then you can get the key too, and you can take that key over to the Hibernia, which isn't part of the Rickon, I know, but you get the key there to unlock the little memento cache. You get some marine flares, which is nice, you know, over that, but you just have to watch it for the bear. Fishable region, yeah. Big loot potential, you can get the flask there actually. Yeah, you can get the flask. You know the flask? You guys know what I'm talking about? I've gotten the flask there. I've gotten the purple one there. That's very nice. We'll say it's big loot. That would be nice, you know. There are beds, scenery. It's a good picture. It's a good picture, I guess. Not difficult terrain. Oof, it's tough. It's a tough one. And that's it. There's a forge, some wolves, moose. Not best C or D. Live in the lighthouse. I would say I'm only there for the forge, and then once I'm done, I'm either in Hibernia or the lighthouse. You know, lighthouse made it to S tier, so I'm thinking, yeah, I think you're right, Victor. C or D sounds like the best spot, and they're both full right now. It's a D. No crafting bench, only a forge. Yeah, only one cooking spot. That's true. Only one cooking spot. Not that great. Yeah, we're throwing it in D. Sorry, Rickon. It's in D. Womp womp. Next up on the list is, Transfer Pass. Train station and Transfer Pass. This has the coal chute too, and there's a chance there to get the bearskin bedroll. I've gotten it there once. Hostile predators? No. This is probably the only spot where there's no hostile predators. There's nothing in this region that will kill you unless you fall off something. Or the cold. The cold can kill you too. Small game, yes. There's rabbits. There's ptarmies. There's a lot of good small game there. Big game, there are deer. There's deer out back on the little pond thing. Fishable region? No. There's a lot of acorns though. Big loot potential? Yes. With the bearskin bedroll, you can get That is big loot. That's big loot. There, you could get it. You could get it there. Lots of acorns and cattails. Yes, those are very calorie-dense, nutritional foods, you know? Kind of sucks you gotta cook up the acorns, you gotta crush them and whatnot, but if you have the heavy hammer, it's great. Scenery, not really. Like, there is that one spot you can get up on the hill. I forget what it's called, but you can get up there and take a photo. So, like, I think it's a vista. So, I guess there's not even a bed in there. You have to bring your own bed. F? Carrot doesn't like it. It's nice for loot, for food, calorie-dense food. Other than that, it's tough to stay there for a long time. It's really tough to stay there, especially since the food doesn't respawn, you know, the cattails, the acorns. Let me say, on the record, I do love this spot, but as a home base, it's tough to survive in. It's a great place for a hub because once you come back from all the other scary regions, it is a nice spot to just relax. You know, you're not going to die from any hostile wildlife, but you have to have the food on you. My mind has been quickly changed. Peer pressure works. It does. D, boom. Next up is one of the vacation homes in Coastal Highway. Vacation homes, Coastal Highway. It's a house. I don't know if this one's standing in Interloper. I don't think it is. It's a vacation home, not a house. Sorry, vacation home. Yeah. It's a regular ass house. You know, the bear can walk up there. There are wolves on the ice. Small game, there are rabbits there. Big game, there's deer nearby. True. Fishable, yes. Big loot, no. Bed, yes. Scenery, sure. It's on the harbor, I guess. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. This one's like just a house. You know, you could probably say this is just like any generic house. Is it a good base? Yes. We could just say this is any just random house, you know? Solid property listing, I think so. D, it's a spot to loot and leave. Then I'll stop by again if I need to warm up or sleep. But yeah. Are there schools and playgrounds nearby for kids? There are actually. Yeah, there are. I'm fine with D, honestly. D is fine. A lot of things are sticking to D, and I'm fine with that. D it is. Moving on. The weather station in Sunder Pass. Sarah Novus was just here in the video. You get the camera up here. Is that valuable loot? Yes, it is. Hostile predators, not up there. There are in the region, but not there. Small game, yeah, there's ptarmies. We saw Sarah Novus snipe a ptarmy. Big game, no. Fishable region, no, we're not gonna count it. Scenery, yeah, it looks great out there. You know, and then you can take photos with the camera. Crafting bench, yes. There's one out in the shed. There's one there. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, yes. It's tough to get up there. Honestly, I want to say D for this one. The region itself is meh. Yeah, the region kind of shuffles it down. The only reason I'm going there is for the camera. You know, I'm not going there for any other reason at all. I think we're gonna have to go D. We gotta hammer these out. We got a couple more to go through. We've almost been at this for 3 hours. This is gonna be gnarly to edit. D. Boom. Okay, the last and final place before we add a couple spots is Timberwolf Mountain, the mountaineering hut. This is the only indoor location on Timberwolf Mountain. Indoor location in parentheses or in quotes because it's not really like indoor, but it provides like indoor shelter. Kind of like the summit of the plane, except the plane I think can get colder. It is nice. It's right on the lake. Hostile predators, yes. You can get wolves out on the ice. You can get the moose coming from the Pleasant Valley transition. Small game, there's rabbits around for sure. Big game, there can be a deer. Fishable, yeah, there's a fishing hut right out there. You think this is B? This might be B for for Timberwolf Mountain region. This might be B. This is a good spot. This is not bad. I do like this spot. Okay, yeah. Honestly, I want to throw this one in B. I'm throwing it in B. B is good. Yes, thank you. It gets cold without fire. It can be killer, but crafting is good. Loot, yes. Fishing, 100%. It's going in B. Okay, you guys. Now we're adding some photos. So let me go look up some photos of this stuff, and then we'll get back to it. Maybe in the meantime, you can smash that like button and leave a sub while you're at it. It would really help me out. Thanks. Now, back to the video. Okay, we're back. The Orca gas station. Orca gas station, it's also in Milton. I'm surprised this wasn't on the list originally. But Orca gas station, it's a little bit further away from the town of Milton. It's if you're going to Mystery Lake, it's right by the transition, kind of sort of. You go down a rope and then you go up a rope. It's there. It's a stop by, you know. It has some good loot. There are a lot of wolves around though, so watch out for those. There's some acorns on the hill there. Great. Small game, sure. There's rabbits out back. Big game, yeah. You can get the moose. You can get the deer. There's a moose there. I live there. For real, you live there. That's so real, so real. Big loot. There's a lot of food. You can actually get a revolver. You can get a bedroll there. I'm counting it. Fishable region, sure. There's a bed in the back, yes. Scenery, not really. It's not really nice looking there. Crafting bench, no. I don't think there's a crafting bench there. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. I want to throw this one in B. Should we goof around? Should we throw this in B? Grandmother's house is in B also. C, no bench. Now you're convincing me. Get goofy with it. If you build a workbench there, def B. If you build a workbench there, okay. So in that case, I think we're gonna have to throw it in C because no workbench. I think we're gonna have to throw it in C. Extend C. Next up is the Cannery Workers Residence. It's close to the Desolation Point Lighthouse, which is a spawn location. If you get that spawn location, first stop you're gonna make is at the Cannery Workers Residence. Other than that, I'm not really there too often, you know? I will check it if I'm coming down, but I'm not there all the time, you know? It is a good spot though. There's like a fireplace there. There's not a whole lot. Closest fishing hut to the building also has a bear. That's true. It does have a fishing hut there. This is true. The 6 stove is in destroyed lighthouse. Oh, yeah, kind of close. Kind of close. Yes. Okay. Okay. Fair. Valid. Bed. Yes. Like maybe C. I'm feeling C. C is a good spot. C or B. I feel C too. C because like it's not like the most apparent. And like looking at the other B's in the list, I feel like it doesn't go with the B's, you know? I think it's a good C. Boom, C. Moving on. We're going to Skeeter's Ridge, Pleasant Valley, just ahead of the plane wreck, right? So you get a lot of loot from the plane wreck. If you're going to the plane wreck, you're stopping at Skeeter's Ridge. If you're coming back from the plane wreck, you're probably stopping at Skeeter's Ridge. It's the basement there. It's all right. It's all right. Hostile predators, yeah, there's always wolves, if not timber wolves there. Small game, you can get some rabbits around the other side, I think. Big game, there's a deer carcass around the corner. Ugh. D is generous. Fishable region, like, yeah, but it's really far away. I wouldn't consider it fishable up there at all. Big loot potential, no. You might get a bedroll there, but I don't think that's it. No bed. There's no bed in there. There's a bed in the cave nearby, but I mean, that's not what we're talking about. That's not a home base location. I wouldn't say this is a home base location either. Scenery, maybe it is. We'll say it is. We get the scenery of all the dead bodies at the plane wreck. We'll count it. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, no. Like to get up, kind of, sort of, but like not really, you know? D or F, Skeeter's Ridge. F because there's no bed and no crafting when wolves outside. It's hard to get to. It's hard to get to. Not really much to this one. Yeah, Draft Dodgers is much closer. That is a better one. Yeah, Draft Dodgers, it would be a better one. But I mean, if this one since it's an indoor location, we're taking it away. Okay, moving on. This is the Harris home basement over in Crumbling Highway. It's the only like indoor location in Crumbling Highway, and Crumbling Highway is just like a transition region, just like the ravine. But I mean, if you're gonna stop somewhere, it's gonna be here and the cave along the way. But this is the only indoor location, so it could make for a home base, but it's still not that great. It's just like Skeeter's Ridge, I feel like. I mean, the same amount of stuff, the same kind of stuff. You're not really getting anything. You'll probably get spray paint. That's it. There are wolves around. No timber wolves, which is good. It is better than Skeeter's Ridge. That's a stop. It's a D. You do stop here. You're not stopping here on the way. You're always stopping at a Harris home basement if you're going through Crumbling Highway. So I would say it's a D because it is a step up from Skeeter's Ridge. I agree. It's a D. Moving on. The summit, Timberwolf Mountain Summit. There's a plane wreck up there. If you're staying in the plane, like you're probably hiking up, getting up there. It's probably getting dark. The plane has a bunch of great loot. Hostile predators. There is a wolf up there now. They did add a wolf to the summit, so you got to watch out for that. There is some small game. I think there's some ptarmigas up there, maybe some rabbits or something. Big game, no. Fishable region, like, yeah, but it's not up there. It's not up there. Big loot potential, yes. You have a hacksaw to cut into those containers. Oh, big loot. Bed, no. There's no bed up there. It's pretty cold. It's an open plain. It's good loot. A lot of ptarmigans. That's it. Scenery? Ooh, it's got good scenery. It is my thumbnail for one of my videos. Crafting bench? No. Forge? No. Difficult terrain? Yes. We're going to say it is difficult terrain to get up to the summit. Just there's a couple rope climbs. It does take a day or two. Not too hard to get to, but awkward. It is awkward. It's just awkward, I guess. Yeah. Awkward would probably be a good way to put it. D. Okay. C, D. It is good loot. That's pretty much the thing it's got going for it. It's good loot. Otherwise, biggest F? Really? F, F, F? I almost want to say D, but it might be F. D just because of the loot, for sure. I think we will have to go D. Okay, the last spot. Woo! The last spot. We've made it, you guys. Unless you guys have any other ideas for base locations, this is the very last one. It is the Hermit's Cabin in the Milton Basin. Who's going down to the Milton Basin? I don't know. But the Milton Basin is one of the best spots to practice your survival on a lower difficulty or even on a higher difficulty, because it is literally secluded from the rest of the region. It's got everything pretty much. It's got some rose hips. It's got birch bark. There's a moose down there. There's plenty of wolves too, so hostile animals. There's some small game. There's some big game there. If you have a rifle, if you have a bow and arrow, for sure. You can fish down there. Big loot, not really, no. There's no bed down there. You have to bring your own. Scenery, it's a nice spot. It's a nice spot, for sure. Crafting bench, no. Forge, no. Difficult terrain, yeah, kind of. You gotta rope down there, so sure. This is like, it's a broken down cabin. If you can't see the photo, it's a broken down cabin. It's a shack. It's tough to survive in. Some people love it as a base. Some people hate it as a base. It's a good in-between if you're coming down from Milton. But otherwise, like, I might just stay in the cave down once you get into Forlorn Muskeg, right? There isn't a moose there now. Oh, they changed it. They took it out, did they? Okay, interesting. That must have been during the wildlife refresh. Cave is just better. That's one that has warmth bonus. Yeah, that's true. The cave around the lake, or even the one down in Forlorn Muskeg. Some people do tell me in my chat all the time, they're like, Hermit's Cabin's so good. I don't think I like it that much. I do stop there. It's a stop and like warm up, you know, get my teas going. There is a stove there, but beyond that, I think there's a med kit. You could get a stim, maybe. No bed, awkward to get to, no crafting, not a proper base location to stop by. It's got to be F. F, let's put it in F so there's some controversy. It's, I'm dying, I should stop. Yeah, it's like I'm too tired to climb. F, it's gone. All right, gamers. Let me zoom out. There we go. This is it. This is our list. Hey, if you guys have any problems with this list, please let me know. If there's anything we should change, please let me know. I think this is a solid list for the most part. Only 2 places made it to S tier, which is crazy. I thought there was going to be more places in an S. Thoughts, questions, concerns, conundrums? Leave them down below in the comments.